Well, finally Jurassic World Dominion is getting some big scaled marketing with a brand new featurette that also showed off a teaser trailer, which is technically trailer 2, right at the end of it, revealing so many new scenes, so many new details and so many new Easter eggs that we're going to break down in today's video. I've got them all listed down on my note page, and there is also a brand new poster that we're going to be discussing at the end of the video as well. So if you're excited for more Jurassic World Dominion content, feel free to press that subscribe button and the bell notification to stay up to date. Quite recently, we've been getting loads of brand new images that actually did not show up in this featurette. So if you happen to have missed out on those specific images from the new Empire magazine, I have previously made a video breaking down all of those images as well. So if you're excited for those, feel free to go over to my previous video. But for today's video, details, Easter eggs, and much more that you may have missed throughout this featurette. The featurette opens up with a nimble montage from the previous Jurassic movies, keeping true to the title of Legacy. We learn more about the history of the franchise within this video. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum continue to explain their desire, passion, and happiness to be involved in the making of the first movie. The first details to keep your eyes open for would be that Neil's backdrop shows off his character's main setting of the Amber Cave, where he seems to be still digging up fossils all of these years later. We can see this area in the first trailer for Jurassic World Dominion when Alan Grant shows up with Ellie Sattler. Likewise, Laura Dern's background is very similar to a high-end and modern inside of a barn with what seems to be either straw or hay off to the right. Again, this shows where her character, Ellie Sattler, will be from what we saw in the first trailer. However, Goldblum's is a little bit more tricky to tell where he is. It's some sort of lab that I can only assume links to Dr. Ian Malcolm in some way because of what we've seen so far from the other characters within this featurette. Following this pattern, Chris Pratt's Owen Grady can be seen in the trailer in the undergrounds of Malta. We now see Chris Pratt's interview background in a much similar scenery. And following the same pattern, Bryce Dallas Howard's background is also similar to her character's background just before Owen leaves to jump onto the motorcycle and go around Malta. Later, Colin Trevorrow pops up briefly with a director's background. He then discusses and confirms once more that Jurassic World Dominion is the whole culmination of the story that Steven Spielberg began way back in 1993. This is indicating the importance that this movie will have to the entire franchise. Now we begin with the brand new scenes from this featurette. The first one we get is another shot of Owen tracking down and rounding up all of these brand new species of Parasaurolophus that we saw in the previous trailer. We again can see a Lost World pattern parasaur, although with a brand new modern look. Next, we're greeted with a behind the scenes shot of Owen and Claire looking up in fear to something larger than them. By looking at the background and their clothes that they're wearing, I can only assume this could be the Therizinosaurus, or possibly something else that lurks in the Biosyn Valley. A few more behind the scenes shots are shown throughout this video, with Pratt giving his gratitude for being able to share the big screen with Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. A brief scene has put our two female stars looking at one another and then turning around and looking at something else. Due to the overturned Jeep in the background, I can only assume that this might be something to do with the Giganotosaurus or another dinosaur making a sound as they both turn simultaneously to look towards the sound's direction. A very brief scene of Owen holding his hand up to the parrot is shown. Whilst it doesn't add anything, this is a brand new scene. Next up comes the Dreadnoughtus scene we saw recently in Empire magazine's article. In this article, we only got a still of this Dreadnoughtus. However, within this shot, we can obviously see the massive sauropod, which is the same breed of sauropods we saw from the Jurassic World Dominion prologue. Looking deeper into this shot, we can see a flying reptile of some sorts. Originally, I believed this to be the Dimorphodon. However, its wingspan seems to be too long for a Dimorphodon. So now I assume that this could be a Pteranodon instead. Currently, the only 3 flying reptiles we have confirmed for Jurassic World Dominion are Dimorphodon, Quetzalcoatlus, and Pteranodon, with Sungaripterus expected but nowhere to be confirmed. Up in the top of this image, we see a helicopter. The same type of helicopter that Biosyn seems to have ownership of. Within this helicopter could be Dr. Alan Grant. since we see him look down from an aircraft in amazement. What's more amazing than seeing a massive sauropod like Dreadnoughtus? Equally, this could also be Biosyn worker Ramsey Cole. Recently, HD images of this shot released online, and Jurassic Outpost state that Biosyn Sanctuary, seen in this footage with the Dreadnoughtus, is located in the Dolomite Mountains in Italy. The next short scene shows Ellie Sattler arriving to her ranch from her vehicle. This is another brand new scene that we're still yet to see. Shortly after, we're greeted with the original trio being blown away by a lot of wind, whilst Ellie Sattler desperately tries to hurry others along who seem to be in peril danger. Another new short scene shows Owen and Claire, again looking up in confusion and disbelief about something. We know they're in the Biosyn Valley as we see a Biosyn facility or watchtower behind them, surrounded by redwoods. After this, another Empire magazine shot is shown in full here, with Alan Grant climbing down a cave with a torch. Very Indiana Jones-like. However, I think he might be in some sort of danger here. For a while now, we've known that the Dimetrodon is appearing in this movie, and we have even seen its model. But the last time we saw someone in the Jurassic franchise in a tight cave area using fire as a torch was in Camp Cretaceous Season 4, where Ben was being chased by the Smilodon, something that is not a dinosaur. This Alan Grant scene could be a reference to that Camp Cretaceous scene, where he's being chased by a non-dinosaur in the Dimetrodon. This would also link very nicely to the soon-to-release toys called Alan Grant and Dimetrodon. A few more behind-the-scenes shots are shown here, before we then cut to another take from the movie. We see the characters turn their heads, but what is most fascinating in this scene is what they were looking at on the computers. They seem to be looking at some footage that possibly contains fire of some sorts. Whilst it's too hard to depict what exactly this is, we can kind of make out what we see. One creature on the right is clearly a biped of some sorts, giving off a build that remarkably resembles a Gallimimus, whilst the one on the left seems to have the build and structure of a Dilophosaurus with its frill out. I don't know, I could be seeing things here, but that's what I can tell from that image alone. We can also see at the bottom of this image Kayla Watt's hand holding the taser that we saw her use when encountering the Pyroraptor within trailer 1, also seen later in this video. Another new scene shows Owen and Claire clinging onto each other for dear life as the aircraft seems to be destroyed in some area, possibly after the Quetzalcoatlus attack. The next behind the scenes shot has all of the characters together. However, it's worth noting that Mamadou Afi's character, Ramsey Cole, is there amongst them, a character who's supposedly working for Biosyn. So this footage alone could potentially mean he is double-crossing Biosyn. It's also worth noting that Kayla Watts is also not in this scene, referring back to Empire magazine that states that she's on her own mission to discover something about her past. What these characters could be looking up to is completely beyond me. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying not to always say dinosaur, 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 but it's quite hard to do that and avoid that when it's a dinosaur movie. A new scene of Owen is seen running through the snowed down woods, assuming to be running away from Blue, as it matches what we saw in the first trailer. More new footage reveals a scene where a dinosaur almost gets Owen and the rest. I can say dinosaur now because we can in fact hear the roar. Unfortunately, however, I can't quite put a name on what species this could be. My only assumption is that it could be something small, potentially the Dilophosaurus, but it didn't really sound like a Dilophosaurus to me. We get a short sequence of a subtle montage, showing Ian and Owen in an underground tunnel together, and one of my favourite scenes of Ellie and Alan wearing Biosyn clothing, whilst Maisie isn't. My assumption here is that because Maisie isn't wearing any workers' clothing, she could have been captured and taken away by Biosyn, leading to Grant and Sattler to break in and try to rescue her. As we know, she has the DNA sequence to be able to be cloned, not before being brought to a subtle halt for some unknown reason. Now, my favourite dialogue of this featurette, trailer 2 type of video, is simply Dr. Wu's claim. He claims here that we need to fix a terrible mistake.
We need to fix a terrible mistake.
From the first trailer, and now, we have seen that he seems to be in a lot of discomfort. He seems completely lost. This could be for any reason, from being captured by Biosyn and being forced to work for them, realizing what he did was wrong by creating all of these dinosaurs, or anything else along those similar lines. It seems clear that he is involved with Biosyn somehow, with the white structured building he's always within. In the first trailer, we saw he was looking up to someone, presumably Lewis Dodson. In Empire's magazine article, he is looking at a giant manufactured locust, and he's now claiming that they've made a mistake and it needs to be fixed. Something's going on here with Dr. Wu in this story, and I'm not too sure if it's anything pretty, since we haven't seen a lot of him quite yet. Let's just hope he's okay, but if you've read the books, you kind of know where this is going. Up next comes a fiery sequence of some sort of lava or fireball hitting a Biosyn Jeep, yes, a Biosyn Jeep, that Maisie, Ellie and Ian are all within. Now this next scene is incredibly intriguing. We see Maisie and Alan looking from behind a cage to a bright white light. What this could be is completely beyond me, but notice the sheer fear in their eyes. Maisie and Alan are two people who'd only show that much fear if something bad is about to happen. This gives me primeval vibes from when Cutter looked in disbelief when Steven sacrificed him. Let's just hope nothing similar is going on here with our main characters that we love. Now we see our first look of the Triceratops in this movie. Something that has been taking me by surprise and not appeared in the trailer. Here we see the Triceratops alongside a Nasutoceratops, completely contradicting what is said in Jurassic World Evolution 2, the video game, where apparently Ceratopsians don't like to live with each other. I wonder if this will change once we get a Dominion update. Now we jump into the Trailer 2 teaser. I'll only focus on the new footage first, where we have Grady saying, "I could use your expertise," towards Claire Deering. The trailer then cuts to a shot of Ian Malcolm standing in some building. I can only assume that this is a watchtower that we see from Biosyn's facility. This theory is further supported by the window in the back and the images that are shown on the computer screen. What I think is on this screen are name tags for some dinosaurs living within this biome, as they show movement and dots very similar to what we got in the original Jurassic World movie. A new audio and shot of the Wonder Wise's Kayla Watts screams, "Hold on guys," whilst wind hits her face. From this alone, it seems like things went terribly wrong after the Quetzalcoatlus destroyed the cargo plane in the previous trailer during mid-flight. The scaffolding we can see from a previous shot of Owen Grady on a motorcycle in Malta being chased by the Atrociraptors can be seen getting destroyed on the return from a truck that Claire Deering is standing on top of, whilst also being chased by the Atrociraptor Red. The next new scene has Ellie, Maisie and Alan behind a metal gate, trying to open it of what it seems. This however seems to be the same gate we saw earlier from Grant and Maisie, where they were looking in deep fear. And then, finally, we get the big bad boy reveal of the Giganotosaurus. Our first major skull reveal of this creature in motion, matched with a distinct roar. From other images of this creature, we can tell that it is very similar to the Indominus Rex. This is because, and it links back to the fact that Giganotosaurus's DNA was heavily used in the design, structure and size growth for the Indominus Rex, and you can really see the similarities here. This is a fantastic Easter egg. Another would be its angled roar directed at the camera. This is very similar to the first main roar we saw from Jurassic Park's Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now we're going a little bit more speculative here. One thing is worth mentioning about the audio within this video and its similarities to Camp Cretaceous. There's a portion of this mini trailer that has the same music used in Camp Cretaceous Season 1's trailer and a few more trailers. Whilst this isn't the Camp Cretaceous audio that we specifically have during the credits of every episode, it is distinctly recognised to Camp Cretaceous. I believe its debut actually appeared for the Super Bowl trailer for Fallen Kingdom, and they've just been using it since, but it's without a doubt that it's now suddenly become a fan favourite audio from Camp Cretaceous alone. Since we know that a major discovery from Camp Cretaceous and a few little link-ups from that show as well are planned to happen, could this audio cue be a tease to exactly that? Well, that's all we've got for the new trailer. But let's take an incredible first look at this glorious poster for Jurassic World Dominion. My goodness, it's just simply remarkable and it's absolutely perfect. Modern posters these days seem to be so repetitive with no style to them, but this one is simply fantastic. Now, what I absolutely love about this poster is the fact that it's got the circle amber logo that we got originally released for Jurassic World Dominion, and within it we keep the theme of the amber gold yellow colour, where it then goes over the top of the Jurassic World characters at the top and the Jurassic Park trilogy characters at the bottom. This poster is truly remarkable and is definitely better than anything we've got previously. I do hope I can get one of these in my room very shortly. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a full Easter egg breakdown, hidden details type of video that we got for the recent featurette video for Jurassic World Dominion. You're welcome to go check out the featurette video for yourself. You can go find that on the Jurassic World YouTube channel. But if you're excited for Jurassic World Dominion and want to see more coverage of this brand new movie, feel free to press that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss an upload. We are very punctual on this channel with loads of content and brand new content regarding this movie franchise. So if that's intriguing you, feel free to subscribe and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed. But for today's video, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're all staying safe out there and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Let's get ready for some dinosaurs in less than 2 months' time. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.